You know, I give all the credit to Nagesh for whatever I did in Iqbal. He kept telling me, I want this, I don't want this. He would actually yell at me, why did you take the third step? I told you only 2 steps, right? किसका husband play करेगा? गुल पनाग का कि आयशा ताकिया का? So I said, दोनों खूबसूरत है. किसका husband play करूँगा? So through the day we kept improvising and playing around, and that chemistry started building to the point where I remember in the evening, there's one scene that we were shooting and Farah finally came and said, enough. Enough of improvisations. Just say whatever is written in the damn script.
Shreyas is somebody who, first we saw him in Iqbal. I'm sorry, but Iqbal, when I saw it, I thought you couldn't talk.
A lot of people actually felt.
So we saw you at Dimple Theatre.
Yeah.
And I saw this new boy standing there and I said, I don't know whether I can go talk to him or anything, but I did go up and say that was very nice and lovely watching you, etc.
But there's a very interesting incident that happened, on the release of the film. So we did these theatre visits, right? So me, Nagesh, Rahul Puri, Elahe, Dipti, all of us would go and check the response. And I remember one of the first shows, where Nagesh was standing, behind him it was me, and then Rahul, Elahe, Dipti. So the people started walking out after the show. And they saw Nagesh first and they said, oh, Mr. Kukunur, oh, what a film, what a lovely film, and then they saw me and they said, so I said, thank you.
You can talk.
You can speak. I said, I can speak, I can hear everything.
So I was not the only one.
They were pretty shocked. So yeah, I mean, for the longest time, people kept feeling this, that can he speak, can he hear, and of course they also didn't know the fact that, even Subhash didn't know the fact that I was married just before Iqbal. Yeah. So it was quite funny, the kind of reactions that we would get, and we would wait for that.
Which actually means you were such a good performer that you convinced people.
But I think it was all Nagesh, I give all the credit to Nagesh for whatever I did in Iqbal. If people have liked it, it is only thanks to Nagesh, because I think he's really handholded me throughout the film. Every little thing, he kept telling me, I want this, I don't want this. Okay, 2 steps means only 2 steps. He would actually yell at me, why did you take the third step?
Achha.
I told you only 2 steps, right? Sorry. Very sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, but I think because he was very clear about what he wanted. And there's a very nice thing that he told me right on day 1. So there's this shot where my father wakes me up. I'm sleeping. I think it's the first shot where I'm introduced. So he wakes me up and I wake up and he says, chalo, kaam pe chalo, kuch karte nahi ho, sota rehta hai वगैरह. So I woke up in a certain manner. And Nagesh came and Nagesh said, you know what, just remember one thing. This is the first shot in the film where you're going to be introduced. Okay. Now you're this 18-year-old guy. In your mind, I want you to think 18. If you convince me in the first 5 minutes that you're 18, after that, tu daadi bada le, mooch bada le, kuch bhi kar le, I will look at you only as 18, not beyond that. So now just convince me that you're 18. That's it. And I was 29 and going on to 30 at that point.
Right, okay.
So I said, okay. So I thought about it for 5 minutes and then I did the shot. And after that he said, yes, now I see that you're 18. Yeah. So I think, a lot of things that I learned, I also unlearned a lot of things while shooting for Iqbal. And it's all thanks to Nagesh.
Okay. But it's surprising that he put you as a guy who couldn't speak in the first film, and 1 year later in Door you were doing that Behrupiya, you were anything but dumb.
Yeah. But all that I couldn't do online, on film in Iqbal, I used to do it off the sets.
Off set.
So all sorts of masti and mimicry and all that nonsense would keep happening, off the sets.
In between shots.
Yeah. So of course he knew that part of me.
Okay.
And so when he was casting for Door, I still remember he had asked me first, किसका husband play करेगा? गुल पनाग का कि आयशा ताकिया का? So I said, दोनों खूबसूरत है. किसका husband play करूँ? And then in a week's time, because at that point in time he was looking at some senior actor playing Behrupiya. But then in a week's time, suddenly he said, you know what, I want you to play Behrupiya
Behrupiya.
and let's use the whole mimicry angle and everything
yeah.
over there. So that's how the whole transition
Because that
happened.
was
Yeah,
completely different, you know. Yeah, and he brought out something really
Yeah.
fabulous in you in that.
So I
actually.
mean, I really enjoyed that time with him because and Nagesh is extremely unpredictable, you know. So when you feel that you know him, you don't really know him. He'll come up with a surprise.
He'll come up with something else, yeah, that's right. But that really set the trend for you to be doing a lot of comedy, isn't it?
Even till that point in time, people were not too convinced, you know, because I remember, I won't name the director, but he had auditioned me for a hit comedy franchise at that point, and which became a franchise later, obviously. But he liked the audition, but he said that, you know what, you have a very strong image as Iqbal. You're a very serious kind of film and serious guy. So I don't know how people will accept you in comedy. So I said, okay, sir, because I was very new to the whole thing. I said, okay, sir, whatever you say. And then Golmaal happened, you know, so Rohit cast me in Golmaal Returns.
Right.
And that changed quite a few things
That's right.
for me. So humor and comedy was something that I used to do in stage and in Marathi films and theatre and television also. But no one had known about that aspect in Hindi films.
Right.
That is when Golmaal helped me reach out. And I remember the same director at the success party of Golmaal, he came, he hugged me and he said, गलती हो गई
But that's
but
nice.
ठीक है, yeah, but ठीक है, अगली बार काम करेंगे. So I
किया
said,
कभी?
किया,
अच्छा,
Yeah.
okay.
किया.
तो अभी बोल सकते हो?
नहीं, अभी नहीं बोल सकते.
अच्छा, ठीक है. And I think Om Shanti Om also came, isn't it, in between?
Yeah. So Om Shanti Om was immediately after Door, I think.
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah. So Farah saw me in Iqbal and Door, and that's when she thought of casting me for Om Shanti Om as Pappu Master. Yeah. It was wonderful. I mean, you know, I remember almost everything associated with Om Shanti Om.
Yeah.
The shooting, the promotions, the release, the London shows, everything. So it was quite an experience with both of them, Farah and obviously
Shah Rukh.
Yeah.
But that was another very, it was a role that left an impact, despite having so many other people on it.
So I feel, you know, of course, on day one, I was very nervous, you know, working with Shah and how is he going to feel, because I come from a school where we improvise a lot, you know, where we kind of think about the character, but we also improvise.
Yeah.
So I said, I was thinking of quite a few things to improvise, but I said, I don't know how Shah is going to react to the whole thing.
Yeah.
So after a couple of hours, I said, whatever he thinks, let me at least go and speak with him and tell him that this is what I have in mind, should we?
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise I'm going to be miserable throughout the shoot.
Right.
And I said, if he doesn't like it, I'm as it is going to be miserable. But I went and I spoke with him and he was so happy with the whole thing. And then of course, he is so witty himself, he came up with 10 things. So through the day, we kept improvising and, you know, playing around, and that chemistry started building to the point where I remember in the evening, there's one scene that we were shooting and Farah finally came and said, enough. Enough of improvisations. Just say whatever is written in the damn script. So
she herself is very wacky.
Absolutely. Wicked sense of humor. But
she and Shah.
But we had such a great time shooting the whole thing.
Lovely.
Because the entire experience was very wonderful for me, and I think that is what really reflects on screen. You know, if you are happy within, then it obviously will reflect happy on screen.
I wanted to ask you, is this true that your aunts are Jayashree T and Meena T?
Yes. My dad's cousins.
Dad's cousins. Okay. So were you kind of inspired looking at their film career कि मुझे भी actor बनना है?
So as kids, you know, there were certain times when we would go to their house, especially for Ganpati Bappa. And that is when, of course, we would see them and we would be completely in awe, you know, you know, they are actresses and they're stars, and today they are not going for a shoot, and so they used to be always huge stars for us, right? So obviously, I mean, you at that point in time, you feel, and it was more awe than anything else at that point in time. And of course, I mean, I didn't have anything in my mind that I want to be an actor or anything like
नहीं
that.
था?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. It was only after even theatre, when I started doing in college, That time also I was very clear because I knew my mom would eventually tell me कि बस हो गया अभी कुछ नौकरी वोकरी कर लो, which she did also.
Okay.
She would wake me up in the morning and send me for bank exams, which I failed miserably, thankfully. But it was only after a particular point that I got very serious about the fact that okay, this is what I want to do as my
career.
Yeah.